saying?
This is Piers Morgan. You may remember him from last year.
Nice to see other people suffering.
How's it going? Piers.
Hi, Piers. Hey, good to see you. I walked into the Cotu War Room and I was expecting to see an absolute hive of activity. People at the top of their game, all now going for the top prize. What I'm looking for when I come in is to see a bit of ruthless steel beneath the smiles. Instead, I saw these two clowns sitting there chatting up these young models. This is like having a load of Stephen Baldwins coming in front of me. They look good, but absolutely pointless. What's your strategy?
The strategy is to call as many friends on our Rolodex as we can and try to make as much profit as we can on it.
Hello.
So Jane, you're doing well from what they tell me. Presumably you're now thinking you might be able to win the whole competition. How's that going to work with your own daughter in the show?
As long as she loses because she should lose, that's fine. To be thrown under the bus, as almost happened, is not fine.
So what will you do if she gets thrown under the bus?
I will walk.
If I were thrown under the bus, my father would be disappointed in me for allowing myself to get in the way of that bus. Hi. How's it going? Good. This is Piers Morgan. You may or may not recognize him.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Melissa and I were working in the war room, and in walks Piers and Ivanka. I was especially excited because I was a huge fan of Piers last season.
So Piers kicked everyone's ass.
I know, you were my favorite last year. I was rooting for you the whole time.
Brandy was right there, all excited, like boobies in Piers's face, and woo!
Yeah.
We just asked your mum an interesting question actually. And she said if you got unfairly thrown under a bus, she'd walk. What's your view?
I think my mother would expect me to not take the fall. So I think I would just keep going.
If you lose, who gets thrown under the bus?
Annie said, I'm just telling you guys right now, whoever raises the least amount of money, if we lose, is going in the boardroom.
And who is that person at this point?
Me and Jesse.
I'm just trying to work out if you two know how you win.
I know. It's all
I know how
about
to win.
money.
It's all about money.
Absolutely.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Have fun, guys.
All right, thank you. Piers came in and was suggesting that this is all about money. And I must say, once he left,
Hi, Michael Carlin, please.
Melissa was scrambling.
He's not in his office.
I need to talk to him as soon as possible.
I was just thinking to myself, why weren't you doing that before? Why did it take someone at 4 o'clock in the afternoon when our show is in 2 hours for you to actually get on the phone and feel nervous about it? I thought that was kind of fascinating.
Hey, Phil Hellmuth, what's up?
Listen, Natalie called, and she wants to talk to me in the next couple of hours. She called me for help.
Against me.
I've never met Natalie, but I'm a fan of hers. But you're my girl.
Right.
So, you know,
Okay, so I just want to be clear. Natalie called you through my friend to try to get you to be a donor for her.
yeah.
When I found out that my friend had facilitated somebody getting in touch with people to try to fundraise against me, you can imagine that I was not happy about this. Can we lock the door shut, please? Sure. It's Annie Duke. But I suggest you turn the volume on your phone down because I'm going to be yelling.
So hold on.
Well, no, because I want to know, what did I ever do to you that you're hooking Natalie Golbis up when she's not even on my team?
It's not great for me if I get voted off the show because he just stabbed me in the back so bad.
And I'm angry about it.
Why the would you do what you did?
Let me just tell you what I do, okay? I get a call this morning. She tells me that you were playing poker against each other, okay?
Yeah, that's not what's happening.
She wants to talk to people who are rivals of mine to get money from them.
She gave me the coach. She's gonna play against you.
She wants to talk to my rivals to get money from them in a donation task. You were played. And I suggest that you call her and say, don't ever lie to me again, because that's exactly what just happened.
You thought I was bad.
You know what that's about?
I don't care. We heard through the wall Annie screaming.
We're doing a charity auction tonight.
I mean, the venom that came out. This is a bad person.
Now I'm pissed off.
Now, I understand that you were lied to, so I'm not pissed off at you anymore.
Annie went berserk. Berserk.
No, you weren't stupid, you were just lied to.
She felt that the tactic that Natalie used was dishonest, which is kind of funny coming from Annie.
Tell me it was only Phil that you sent it to.
Oh, yeah. I didn't talk to anybody else.
If I find out that you sent it out to any other poker players, I'm gonna be pissed off that I'm being lied to.
I thought Natalie did something very clever. You know, it's one of those things where if Annie had thought of it, it would have been brilliant. But because someone got her, sent her round the bend.
Where's Natalie? Is Natalie up here? Where's Natalie? So Natalie, I got such an interesting phone call today from a guy named Phil Hellmuth. He called me up and he said, Natalie Goldless is trying to get money from me. Should I donate to her? And I was like, if you do, I'll personally come to Palo Alto and kill you.
Annie was very, very pissed when she found out. I had contacted Phil and that I was trying to get Phil to come over and to help out our team.
But it was a nice try.
I got the exact reaction I was hoping to get. Unfortunately, I didn't get the money.
You guys are gonna cage match right now?
We're gonna mud wrestle now over Phil Hellmuth.
I definitely feel like I've let my team down. I would have hoped to be able to contribute to the team.
Still gonna call Phil because my manager will be in the audience.
Well, can't
I
you
need
get him
somebody else?
to spend $30K?
Possibly. I'll ask.
Can't hurt. I was relying so heavily on that extra amount of money, and I hope that isn't the difference from whether we won or lost.
Okay, where are my models? So at 6:45, I need everybody boobies up, lipstick on. And we'll get you the jewelry so they're out there working on it. Today, I just feel like Annie is completely turned on me. And that's fine. I can't raise the money that she and Brandy can, but I can outwork both of them. How fantastic is this? Isn't that a great ring? Check that one out. How awesome is that? I think I picked really great stuff. I tried to get a great cross-section of jewelry and clothes. And it'd be nice if everyone said like, hey, good job. Basically, they didn't even bother patting me on the back. So sick of it. Did I not pick well?
It's all beautiful.
Good. I'm very happy.
And Melissa doesn't get it. You know, I mean, let's be real, on a task like this, it's not only about the jewelry, which is beautiful. It's really about the money, which is also beautiful.
All right, so here's our war chest. Stuart's gonna do the bidding. So our strategy was to take all of our monies and lump them together, have our bidder bid on the least expensive piece of jewelry so that we could have the highest profit margin.
We just want this one piece right here.
The other 4 pieces of jewelry will go to the highest bidder at the event, and that'll be our gravy.
Coming up.
What have I got? Have I got $20,000 on these rings? $20,000?
I was backstage going, I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna die.
And later.
You're married to one of the biggest stars in the world, right?
Yes.
Is there not a way through her circle of Hollywood pals that you couldn't get a lot of money for charity?
En octubre, toda la...
Start. Anytime that you have a task like this, particularly when you have people flying in from the West Coast, you worry if something's going to happen and they're not going to show up. Then I saw Scott Ian, who is a good friend of mine, and then Andy Black and Perry Friedman, and we've seen Perry before. He bought the wedding dress, and Stewie Rara was there. He told Brandy, I'll bid anywhere from 0 to $1 billion. That's an important guy to have in the room.
Smiles, everyone. Smiles. Bricket.
So, are we ready to raise a lot of money for charity? Let's see what we can do. We're going to bring out lot number 1 first. This is the open framework pave diamond and rock crystal earrings. And I'd like to start the bidding at $15,000. Do I have 15,000? Do I have 15,000? There's 15,191. Can I get 20,000? Do I hear 20? There we go, 151. That's my friend Scott Ian, lead guitarist for Anthrax, one of the greatest bands in the history of man. My friends are so reliable, but I'm a little bit nervous about how deep into their pockets the boys are gonna go. Do I hear 25? Andy. This is Andy Block, one of the best poker players in the world. No, he is. I'm gonna... 25. Okay, good.
She's doing a good job.
We got 25,000. Do I hear 30? Can I get 30 out of anybody? Scott? No? All right, 25. Going once, going twice. Sold to Andy Block. Congratulations.
She has a nice way.
Yes, go. This is Heather. I'm hoping someone's going to buy this one for me. I just want to say, because I think that this is the most beautiful necklace. It's so my style. I am going to start the bidding at 30,000. Do we have 30,000? Okay, 30,000. Yeah. All right, 30,000. Do I have 35?
34.
All right, 35. There we go, Stewie. 40,000.
Once Annie knew where the money was, man, she went right after it. She worked all the right people with money, you know, bear after salmon.
Can I get 50 from you? Come on. I'm on my knees begging you. 50,000! Now, Scott, what happened to your game after I gave you poker lessons?
Went like this.
Can you give me 52? Because you know it's a good cause.
52.
52. That's what I wanted. 52,000. Going once, going twice. Sold to Scott Ian. I am ready for Brandy. Brandy comes out with the triple strand, and we knew that this was her donor. And that put us in a great situation because Stewie said to Brandy, I'll do whatever it takes to make you win. I'll give you between $0 and $1 billion. Stewie.
Wait, come on. There's a recession on it.
You don't even know what recession means, Stewie. $25,000.
26.
26. Then we had the pony, and they actually started bidding against each other. So they were at 35, and I was actually not able to get them past 35 at that moment. Stewie, how about 40? Stewie, go down and talk to him. But I'm cutthroat. I'm not letting a guy who was like, I'm going for $1 billion, stop at 35,000. That was when I got down on my knees, purposely, by the way, putting the microphone like this, a little subliminal messaging.
Okay, 50,000.
Going once, twice, and sold to the gentleman right over here.
Annie was a great auctioneer. She really blew my mind.
Going once, going twice, tell her she's got it.
She really knows how to take money from people. But that's what she does for a living. She's so good at it.
Sold to Carrie Friedman. Let's bring the items back out.
This evening could not have gone any better. We had such an exciting time and we raised so much money for charity. We loved it.
Thank you very much.
You don't have to start with minimum bid of $3,500. You can start with minimum bid
We're gonna start the bidding at $10,000 on this piece, and I assure you, it's a steal at half the price.
If an item was $6,000, we're not going to start it off at $6,000. It's best to start it off at $10,000 or $14,000 because then at least you already got a profit margin.
I'm Clint Black, and I'll be your auctioneer for Team Coatue. Welcome to a very special evening. Please help me welcome out Jennifer, modeling a set of matching mixed cut diamond band rings. You get two. We're gonna start the bidding on these rings, $20,000. What have I got? Have I got $20,000 on these rings? $20,000. Can I get $20,000 for these rings?
That was pretty.
Yeah.
Clint was not a good auctioneer. He didn't know what to say. He didn't know how to raise the audience. He didn't know how to get them going.
Isn't everybody as excited as I am? $20,000? $20,000?
I was backstage going, I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna kill myself.
Everybody get enough to drink tonight? It doesn't look like it. We get $20,000 for these rings. $20,000. I think we're going to move on to the next item because I'm not coming down off that $20,000. $20,000?
The atmosphere in the room had plummeted to Siberian temperatures. It was utterly embarrassing, and to be honest, an insult to Mr. Trump and Ivanka.
I think we're going to move on to the next item because I'm not coming down off that $20,000. So please help me welcome out Cheryl, wearing Pave Diamond Huggy earrings embellished with South Sea Pearl Pagoda charms. So we're going to start the bidding at $12,000. I want to see some paddles up. Where do I have $12,000?
Would you have to help me?
Why? Where's it?
I don't want to take his thunder away.
$12,000? Come on, ladies and gentlemen, this is your chance. We have $12,000. Thank you, sir. Can I see $15,000? I think we have a bid over here with Mr. Trump is going to start bidding on these earrings now. No? I think he already owns a pair. I saw you wearing some yesterday. I was pretty sure I saw you in that. It couldn't have been, might not have been those. It could have been, you know, ball bearings, I think. That, dare I say it? $12,000 going once, $12,000 going twice, $12,000 sold to the gentleman down here.
The auction was really slow. Our strategy was that we were going to put all our money into the least expensive piece. Well, it didn't make the auction look as appealing as it should have, and I'm sure that was probably hard for Ivanka to watch.
Joan, I almost think we might want to send out our go-to item just to fire these people up.
Our piece was supposed to be the 5th piece, but I ran to Joan and said, Joan, we have to throw out our go-to piece to at least get these people ready to, to put up a little money to charity.
All right, we're going to bring Valerie out. Valerie is wearing...
Valerie isn't ready yet. Hold on.
We're not going to be bringing Valerie out just yet. And instead, we're bringing Alex out. Alex is wearing oval black onyx earrings, cabochon cut, encircled with diamonds. I don't even want to tell you what I'm going to start the bidding at on these. $40,000. You'll never find earrings for that. $40,000 for these wonderful earrings. $40,000. We've got
a beautiful onyx ring. It's a beautiful black onyx and diamond ring that women would woo over star walking.
Let's please walk on down. That's actually a cardboard cutout of Joan Rivers.
Show it off. Show your hand. Move your hand. Up, down. Come on, bitch. Go for it. 7.
We got $40,000. $40,000. Let me see $45,000. $45,000. We have $45,000, folks.
And then everybody in the audience kind of perked up, like, finally, something's going to happen.
$50,000, $60,000. Can we see $70,000? Somebody, $70,000. Can we see more? Can we see $75,000? $75,000, Mr. 184. Can we see $80,000? 83.5. 83.5. We got 83.5 going once, 83.5 going twice. 83.5. It's yours, Mr. 185.
I watched Donald, and then I was watching Ivanka, and they were thinking, oh my gosh, this team is rallying here because now they're actually raising some money, and everybody in the audience was starting to perk up.
Now comes Valerie. Valerie is modeling Asher cut pave diamond long crossover earrings with black spindle drops. We're going to start the bid on these earrings at $20,000. Can I hear $20,000?
Valerie's bulimic, just to cheer the women up. All the women in the audience, you can like Valerie because she's bulimic. She's been eating and throwing up all afternoon. So we don't have to be jealous of Valerie. We can bring her into our circle and say, poor Valerie.
Joan, people love her, and she's quick on her feet. What she says, what she does, how she do certain things. She was absolutely great.
Going once.
Going twice. So.
She lively. Everything got excited.
Going once.
Going twice.
Sold. Congratulations.
I think the strategy of putting the money together on one piece was very, very smart because we got the most out of where our money went. The long run and the short run is how much money did you bring? Thank you all very much.
I have to say, Nanny, you and Joan did a really great job. That was really a great job.
Thank you.
Hey, who picked your jewelry?
Melissa did, and I thought she did a fantastic job. I thought it showed beautifully from the stage. The donors loved it. I thought it was amazing. I want to get that pendant.
Were you involved with the picking?
No, not I.
Was Brandy involved with the picking?
No, she went over alone, and I feel
I
like
think she did a fantastic job.
I thought, what is each member of my team really good at? I'm going to give them ownership of that
But
area, and I
she's
trust
got good genes
them.
at picking jewelry.
Did
But
she
did a very good
pick
job.
large pieces that
She
were
picked
visible
large pieces.
from anywhere in the audience.
Was
And
that
I think
on
that was a great
purpose?
That
asset.
was on purpose, and I wanted a higher perceived value and pick things that I felt would read that way than what the minimum bids were.
Joan, you trained her well. Annie, who's the weak player on your team?
Nobody.
Well, if you have to choose somebody, Annie, who is the weak player? Every team has a weak player.
If I were to choose anybody, it would be based on money raising. Jesse and Melissa brought in least money, but
Jesse, you seem a very nice guy to me. I'm curious that you know that I won last season despite my many inadequacies. Flaws, yeah, psychological flaws. But you're all aware that I won because primarily I raised the most amount of money. I was shameless about it because my view was this was all for great charities. But you are not playing that game. You're married to one of the biggest stars in the world, right?
Yes.
Is there not a way through her circle of Hollywood pals that you couldn't get a lot of money for charity?
I was trying.
But your wife says no?
I didn't ask my wife.
Why that?
I don't mix business and pleasure.
But you must know lots of movie stars, right?
I don't. A couple.
Have you asked them?
No.
I'm curious. I mean, this seems to be an obvious way to get loads of money. And in the end, whatever the argument, it's all for charity, you know?
Okay. Joan, what do you think of your team?
I am crazy about my team.
Didn't you think Clint was a little bit on the long... I mean, I was going to say Clint. That's enough already. And when you got involved, it seemed to speed up a little bit, Joan.
Yeah, well, you know, me too. I'm going to tap dance until I get
that's what
yeah.
you did.
But why weren't you out there from the get-go? I mean, you would have seemed like the more obvious, and you were incredibly knowledgeable about jewelry, so why weren't you out there?
Because I did the fashion part of it, and Clint said I would like to do the auctioneer, and I like my team all to participate. This is not a one-man band.
Now, Ivanka wasn't happy with the pieces that your team picked.
It was hard for bidders to see from the back seats, and it made me look a little bad. You know, it reflected a little badly when nobody is bidding on pieces of jewelry.
I was trying for the opposite effect, so.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who picked the jewelry? Who actually picked the jewelry?
I did.
So that's a little bit of a mistake then, based on what Ivanka is saying, I think.
It wasn't that there was anything wrong with the jewelry, obviously. I mean, you didn't have momentum from the get-go.
What we did is we took all our donations and we put them all into one package, which we were allowed to do.
Yeah, but you ended up not selling one item out of 5.
But that wasn't the task. Our task was to get the most money that you could and do that as well as we could. We were not told you have to sell all 5.
So wait, can I just ask you, Joan, do you think it's okay in this scenario where I was asked to contribute jewelry for the purpose of charity, that you know only one piece is going to be bid on out of 5, and the other was a free-for-all?
I think...
Do you think that's right to me?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a jewelry designer. I think that the task was to make the most money. And that's what we were given. It wasn't to embarrass you.
You turned the auction into a complete farce. Clint was left doing his one-man show to an audience that was never going to respond for what seemed like days, weeks, months. I mean, I could feel the will to live seeping out of me. And if you are representing the Trump family in a show that is run by Donald Trump, the least you should do is show some basic respect to Ivanka and her work.
One point to make, because this is a critical point. We didn't have such a great war chest that we could have spread it out over 5 and maintain the profit margin that we
Let me
had.
ask you on that, why didn't you have a big award chest? Why couldn't you pull the
Judith, give
bigger?
us your Rolodex.
Because I don't know Richard Branson, and I don't know
Come on, Judith, you've been in show business. You're in, I mean, a long
my
time.
darling, let me tell you, I
know
know for
everybody.
40 odd years. Yes, I do.
But Joan, you know the same people I know. You know very
Shall I
wealthy
give you
people
a list
from...
privately of who I've
No, I
called?
mean, you could have. You know who we're talking about.
I
There are
know,
a lot of-
you're
a
damn
lot of
right I
people
know.
we could have called, and I would have thought you might have called some of them.
I called a lot of them.
Annie called a lot of people that she
May I jump in with it? Honestly, Mr. Trump, I think it's a private conversation between you and my mother of the people who you both know who have turned us down, and I think you would be very surprised.
Sorry,
and
why are you
quite-
defending somebody on the opposition?
Because it's my mother, and I thought that you spoke
What's
to her
that got to do
very,
with it?
but Piers, because I thought you talked to her really disrespectfully.
Who did?
You. Your tone was getting a wee bit aggressive and
Not at all.
bordering on critical of who she knows, and it's hard not to have a hair trigger on certain topics.
Annie, what's your take on this?
I'm really not interested in any stake.
No, but I am.
Okay?
Unbelievably, Joan.
Go ahead.
That's all that matters, okay? Go ahead. What's your take?
Honestly, I think it was very disrespectful to Ivanka to not make sure that every single piece got sold. You can take the job literally and say it's about raising money. Then why don't I just take the jewelry, not even put it on a model, hand it to my donors, and have them give me the money? It's not just about that. It's about being respectful to what you're doing, being respectful to the charities, being respectful to the task, being respectful to Ivanka.
That's so duplicitous. You're a despicable human being. You're a perfect poker player. This woman would spit and drown her mother in it if it got her another step forward. She's a poker player, but you're damn right, wow. Oh, now it's the wow, Annie. This is 16 different personalities. This is a girl for 2 weeks told us how she despised Brandy, how stupid Brandy
Never
is.
used the word despise, and
no,
Brandy
you
and I-
did use
have we
despise.
talked about
How
this?
dumb
Yes,
Brandy was.
thank you.
How Brandy should go off.
Have we
Regina.
talked
How
about
Brandy is the weak thing. And now Brandy is her best friend.
Did you say those things about Brandy, just out of curiosity?
I have talked to Brandy about it.
No,
and I
forget
said-
about what you've
I
talked to
never-
Brandy.
I said them about
I never said I
everybody.
despised her. What I said about Brandy was that I felt, as I said to you, that she had become a weak player in the game, which I told her to go.
And you couldn't wait till she
And
went.
I said she had to go because she was dragging us down, Joe. I then talked to Brandy about it, and Brandy was the superstar on my team. Absolutely. And the other day in the boardroom, when I expressed to you in what I felt like was the best business sense, what I felt that Brandy's downfall was.
I believe actually, Andy, that I was the one that expressed it.
No, you didn't know, but then I expressed the thing.
But I expressed it
No,
as
it's
well.
always her.
But wait, can I
Thank God Einstein's dead. She would be taking the theory of
Can I-
relativity
can I
as
please
hers.
comment?
I did this, I did that. The gay boys love me, everybody loves me. I put the things in the package. I did this, you know, you're a smart woman. You're not that smart, darling. Your ego is so beyond where you are. So beyond where you are.
Al principio se trataba de una competencia estrictamente...
You know, you're a smart woman. You're not that smart, darling. Your ego is so beyond where you are.
Is ego a big factor in being a championship poker player?
You have to have a lot of confidence. Yeah.
Confidence. Ego?
Ego actually gets in the way. You need to have.
Well, then you're going to fail.
I guess I failed
Ego
terribly at poker, Joe. You're right. No, but I just want to finish one thing.
Go ahead.
I think business is business, and we're in a competition, and
anything goes.
I find it interesting that the personal attacks interest me.
Isn't it
Well,
amazing?
there's so many personal attacks to all of us, Annie. I guess you leave them at the door here, and you become so nice.
But you know, Joan, she does seem nice to me. I watched her last night. She does seem nice.
So was Hitler and Buchenwald.
So was Hitler?
Have you ever been compared to Hitler before?
I know, I haven't actually.
Can I just ask Melissa, I mean, in light of your mother's comments, which makes me and Omarosa look like a tea party, by the way, do you still think that I was being disrespectful to her? Because it seems on a scale of disrespect.
I completely and totally withdraw and hope that one day that you have children that love you as much as I've heard they do.
I have 3
that
lovely children.
would have the same hair trigger to defending you as
I
I
think
do
that's
for
great,
my mother.
Melissa. I think it's fine.
I just want to say that whatever anybody here or on my right might think about me, I'm the one who, when I call somebody and I ask them to please get on a plane at 6 in the morning to come and help me, they do.
They all came for you.
And
Joan, that's an interesting point. Marisha, wait, but Joan, it is true.
You see, wait.
She was the one. They all came. She had a room full of people.
Yeah, but wait, what she said on the right now, everybody I called gave me money. I brought in about $55,000.
No, I'm only taking shoulders into my
You're
immediate
right, and you did a great job, Herschel.
Herschel, you did.
You know,
I love Herschel.
But
He's
she
amazing.
actually had people get on planes and fly and come. And that's because I guess they like her
It's
or
wonderful.
something.
We also heard a conversation yesterday about someone that you called, that Annie knew that you called, and would somebody just tell what the conversation was?
Go ahead.
Yes, I was having some issues with my friends, so I was trying to put feelers out to find out if there were any competitors that were poker competitors that might want to go up against Annie. So I found one individual that happened to be the best poker player in the world at this time, named Phil. What's his last name?
Phil Helmuth.
Is he the best poker player?
In No Limit Hold'em tournaments, nobody's even close.
Go ahead.
So I reached out to Phil and asked him if he'd be willing to bid for charity and that Annie was on the opposing team. And originally he had said yes. Well, I don't know exactly how Annie found out, but
He called
she
me
was
and
not very excited, which was exactly the...
But why should she have been excited if he was going to come for
Why are
you?
you
Not
telling the
very
story?
excited.
The bottom line is, they tried to screw you on your...
And I found out because my
You
friends
found
are
out and you stopped it, therefore Annie wins. Why are you telling a story which is so self-defeating for you?
The only point I'm saying is, there was a phone call made yesterday. Annie was screaming at
Annie was
somebody.
she doesn't look like a
But,
screamer.
Joan, isn't
Oh my God.
the punchline that Annie was effective? Even if she had to yell...
Wait, hold it 1 second. Melissa, hold it. You are on her team.
I know, and I said Annie
So
rocked
you're really
it.
torn because you're on Annie's team.
No, and can I just
But
say...
you were saying, oh
But
my
I'm
God,
also not-
Annie's a screamer.
No, but I said, when you
Wait,
said I
wait,
can't imagine...
you're on her team.
Yes.
But you're protecting your mother.
No, I'm not saying Annie was wrong to be upset, but you're saying Annie doesn't seem like a screamer. It was a very angry phone call. I'm just playing the fact
Why
police.
are you saying this? I find this dynamic fascinating. You would speak up and knife your leader to suck up to
Okay,
your
let me
mum.
take care of him. No, and never mind, I'm not sucking up to my mother, and
That's the way it
resent
looks to
that.
me. And you've done it twice
By
now.
the way, I don't have to suck up to my mother, and I resent that statement.
Why are you doing it then?
I'm not, because I love her.
What's that got to do with it? Business.
Okay, that's fine. You know what, Mom? Stop.
You're in the
It's my
opposing
turn.
team.
The truth needed to come out. End of conversation.
What is the truth?
The truth is, Annie had a very yelling, angry conversation. Yes, that is the fact. It has come out. Let's not bicker over it.
Is Annie a bad person?
I think Annie plays the game
No. Is
brilliantly.
Annie a bad person?
No.
Thank you.
Is Annie different from the person I'm looking at that seems so sweet
Yes.
and lovable and nice that
Yes.
you watched last night?
Yes,
she
and
was
I
good?
understand Annie, and I accept Annie for who she is. Is she different than she is in the boardroom? Towards me, I believe so, yes. Does that make her a bad person? No. Is she a brilliant game player? Yes.
Okay.
Jesse, do you think it's in any way a liability to have Melissa on a team that's not paired with her mother?
I feel like we just reenacted the last family reunion I went to.
I love Jesse James. I just
No,
want
I
to say
actually
that.
think Melissa's been very loyal to her mother,
Very
and I
loyal.
respect that. Okay, let's get the results. Ivanka, how did Code 2 do?
Code 2 raised an impressive $92,000, most of which was raised through one piece, and that's profit.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And don't forget, that's
This
in
is
the form
pure
of
profit.
profit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's profit. Piers, how did Athena do?
Athena raised a total profit of $153,000. No, dollars. Not pounds, obviously.
Pounds would be more.
Pounds
Pounds would be
Actually, not at the
better.
moment.
Could I have it in pounds? Can I just
This is
ask?
America.
I know where it is.
That's a little shot, Jesse.
I'm just
My
kidding.
man.
Hey, I'm just kidding him. He's allowed to dish it back. I like that.
I will say this, $245,000 is a record on Apprentice. That's for just a period of 1 week. And it's going to go to your charity, Annie. That's
Yes, it is.
fantastic. And by the way, I have to say that you're double, more than double, what last year was at this time. We're into the $600,000 or $700,000, almost $700,000 has been raised for charity so far, and that's pretty good. And what's the name of your charity?
It's Refugees International, and they provide aid and protection to refugees, particularly in Sudan and Congo.
Congratulations, great job, $245,000, that's a lot of money. Go.
Thank you. Thank you. You have to admit it was very uncalled for.
Why is it my fault?
Why don't you tell your mother not to get so personal?
I did. I couldn't let it turn into a bloodbath for my own parents.
She started it.
I know, and I tried to end it.
She started.
Amy, I tried to stop and end it.
To out of the blue come out with the things that Joan said, I'm nasty and I'm Hitler and what all of those things. I think that she was demonstrating the very qualities that she was accusing me of.
She's a 76-year-old woman. I do not control her.
I can truthfully say, by the way, right now that I hope she gets fired.
Well, I can understand if someone called me despicable, I'd feel that way too.
I'm sorry, Hitler. She may never speak to me again as far as I'm concerned. That woman is completely dead to me. 100%.
Sigue con America's